Hello everybody, if you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. If you are watching this video, first of all, thank you. Second of all, if you're watching this video, it means that I am on vacation. I am on an island in Northern Ontario where there's no electricity and no internet. And have I ever done anything like that before? No. But this island has been in my husband's family for generations. His mom is originally from Northern Ontario, so it's important to him and he's excited to go, and he went there a lot as a kid. So we're going, in part because I should be in Italy this month, and I'm not, because there's like this little thing interrupting international travel. I don't know if you heard about it. Anyways, so we are going because 1, it is important to my husband, 2, we can drive there, and 3, it is the epitome of social distancing. It'll just be me and my husband and his parents. His parents are in our bubble. So I wanted to go over some of the things I'm bringing with me. Now this isn't a typical pack for vacation because 1, typically on vacation I'm typically bringing makeup, but there isn't really a need. I mean, we're gonna read a lot, we are going to swim, and I'm gonna desperately try to avoid bugs and sunburn. So without any further ado, I want to go over just some of the items that I'm bringing with me and that I couldn't imagine doing this trip without. So let's get into it. Now this is of course not an exhaustive list of things I'm packing. I'm gonna bring clothes and a bathing suit and a toothbrush and a water bottle and like sunglasses, all those kind of things. These are just sort of some things that I think are especially important for a trip like this, or things I've maybe purchased just for this trip. So let's start with sunscreen. So I am of course bringing a lot of sunscreen on this trip. I have more sunscreen in our car, I have sunscreen in our bathroom. I am really pale and I sunburn very easily, and if you think I sunburn easily, you should see my husband. So first up is just a sunscreen I really like. It's the Hawaiian Tropic Island Sport. I have SPF 50 and SPF 30. It's ultra light, it has like a nice tropical scent. I've used this one for a couple of years. I really like it, and this is one of the sunscreens that I keep on going back to. Next up, we have from Aveeno. This is the Protect and Hydrate SPF 60. This is a face and body sunscreen. I like to have one that's good for face and body if we're just like, I don't know, packing really light, like going to a beach or something like that. I mean, there's a beach on this island, but just in general, I like to have one that can sort of do double duty. I like to obviously have one just for my face, but I do like a little bit of double duty. This one is hydrating, 8 hours of hydration, 80-minute water resistance. Like, I'm really skeptical on sunscreens that are water resistant just because I've been burned, get it? Too many times. But this thing is actually incredible. So I brought this last weekend. My dad, brother, husband, and I rented some Sea-Doos, and we went on an 8-hour Sea-Doo trip on the water, hot and sunny, over 30 degrees, you know, water bouncing off the lake onto our skin, and I had this all over my body, as did my husband, and my brother and dad were using a different sunscreen, but my husband and I were both wearing this one, and neither of us got burns. And that is a friggin' miracle for us because we burn so easily. So it felt comfortable. I don't necessarily love rubbing it with my fingers, but the results were definitely worth it. And it didn't have a terrible sunscreeny feel. So this one from Aveeno, like, new holy grail, especially for water days. And then I'm big into face sunscreens. I do also have some of the Nivea, not Nivea, sorry. Is it Nivea? No. I have some of the Neutrogena sprays that are in our bathroom, and then I also picked up the Neutrogena cream set from Costco. So I'm bringing probably like 4 sunscreens with us. Basically, I'm assuming that we're going to go through, between the two of us, one every 2 days, which sounds excessive, but we need to reapply. I mean, everyone needs to reapply it, but we in particular need to reapply it a lot. In terms of face sunscreens, I've got a couple. The 2 right now that I'm thinking about bringing with me are my Clarins UV 50. This one is really nice, really comfortable in the skin. And this Neutrogena Ultra Clear Face Mist, also a 50. This one has almost like an oily texture. It does go well over makeup, but I'm just going to be using it like just straight up on my face, like just moisturizer. And that one I have floating around in one of my makeup bags, I think it was from this weekend visiting my parents, is the Ombrelle Face Sunscreen by Garnier. I also really like that one, but I'm probably going to be bringing these 2 with me. Of course, I'm going to be bringing a face mask. This is a Toronto Raptors championship one that my grandma made. Even though on the island we're not going to be interacting with other people, you know, we're still gonna have to stop for gas on the way there, and we're gonna have to, you know, grab a, you know, a little bite at the en route, and we're probably gonna need to buy groceries when we get there. So just for all those little incidentals, bringing a mask with me. Back on the sun, I can't believe I forgot these. After-Sun. So even though I've gone and told you about all these things I'm going to be doing to make sure I don't get a sunburn, odds are I'm going to get some kind of sunburn somewhere. It's just going to happen. So I have this Ombrelle After-Sun, which is a refreshing mist with aloe vera gel. Then I also have this big bottle of aloe gel. To be honest, this one I bought with my husband in mind because I just know he's going to get a sunburn. It's just kind of inevitable. Now, if you know anything about going to Northern Ontario in August, you know it is bug season, particularly black flies. So I have for us the Off Deep Woods and the Off Family Care Insect Repellent. And then because I just know that, again, gotta prepare for the worst, I also have an Afterbite. And these are because we're gonna get a bite. It's gonna happen. So I brought some repellent and then some Afterbite. I'm also bringing a little hand sanitizer because, again, we are going to need to stop for gas and things like that on the way, and you can never be too prepared. In the summer, especially when I've got a lot of sun, I love sunning my hair. I love using the John Frieda Go Blonder. I just spritz this all over my hair, put it in a messy ponytail or bun, and I just sit out in the sun. And I figure since we're gonna have so much time out there in the sun, I might as well get some natural sun-kissed highlights. Now, the showers at this cottage, that again I've never been to, but basically the shower water, it's like an outdoor shower. It goes just straight into the ground. So wanting to be mindful of the ground and the water, I've picked up a bunch of more natural hair products from Lush. So for shampoo, this is their Argan Oil Solid Shampoo Bar. I have used the blue one, Seanik, before, which is this one, and I really like it. So I got, figured my husband and I can both use these, but I got some solid shampoo bars to try, and I'm hoping I like Seanik and the other one as much as I do the first time I tried it, because if I do, these would be really great to take traveling because then they don't count towards your liquids. But obviously I don't need to worry about plane travel anytime soon. And then I just picked up the matching conditioner bars in here. They smell so good, and I have them just in these little oval tins. And then because variety is the spice of life, I also have Candy Rain conditioner, which I wanted to try. I got just some smaller, it smells pretty good. I got some smaller bottles of things that I just maybe hadn't tried as much from Lush. And I figured this will also just be an opportunity for me to see if I like them. I have the Almond Blossom Shower Gel, which smells really nice, and the Rose Jam Shower Gel. And then I also picked up a hair treatment. This is the Jasmine and Henna Fluff-Eaze. I love this hair treatment, and what better time to have a hair mask in your hair for like 3 hours than when there's nowhere else to go. And now I did bring just a really small pack of makeup wipes. Not for removing makeup, but just for like either removing little leftover bits of sunscreen, or I sometimes like to wipe my face off when I get out of the lake just because my face feels all lakey. So anyways, I brought just a little pack of cleansing wipes, and I always like to have those, I'm just gonna close that. I always like to have those in a beach bag. I also picked up the Salted Coconut Hand Scrub, mostly because it smells amazing. And it feels great on my hands, and I wanted it. This summer for me, like, I'm low-key tie-dye obsessed, and I actually started an Etsy. So if you like any of these pieces, I am doing tie-dye t-shirts. I can also do sweaters if you want one, just like message me. But I started an Etsy. It's kind of a long story, maybe I'll get into it another day, but I really enjoy tie-dyeing. I like wearing tie-dye. So this is a tie-dye t-shirt I did for myself. This is in a color I've called Storm. This is just like a really loose baggy v-neck, and I wore this one when I was sea doing last weekend, and I do attribute not getting a burn in part to this. I don't always wear a t-shirt when I'm swimming, but if I'm going like canoeing or kayaking, or I know that like my skin is going to be exposed to the sun for a long time on the water, I found that it is better for me to wear a t-shirt than to not. I learned this on my honeymoon after getting a terrible burn after a day of snorkeling, because basically my body was like this and my back was here and the sun was here, and it just was a terrible burn. The other thing you might not think of, I mean, if you're Canadian, I'm sure you'll think of it because you know, but as hot as it gets during the day, it can get chilly at night. And sometimes it stays hot and muggy, but it can get chilly. So I'm also bringing, this is a tie-dye sweater I did in a print I'm calling Lover, named after Taylor Swift. This is just a really baggy, soft, cute little tie-dye sweater. I'm bringing 2 different sweaters with me because as hot as it gets during the day, it can get cold at night. And it is definitely better to be prepared for this kind of thing. I spent 2 summers working at a summer camp in Muskoka, and guys, it gets cold. Now, I am bringing some portable chargers. I really like the Oki ones. I'm bringing some portable chargers because I do want to vlog our time there. I know I won't have internet access, but I do use my phone as a vlogging device, so I think it'd be fun to do a little vlog of our trip. But I'm bringing books. So I have a pile of books, and I'm going to explain to you why these books. I've got a whole stack. Let me show you. I'm gonna go over them. So these are the books I'm bringing. I do not expect to get through all of them, but I want to have choice when I'm there. And so I've picked a couple of books that are just more like fun, easy reads. A couple of books that are moderate, and then a few books that are a lot deeper. And I know that some days when I go down to hang out by the water, I'm gonna want the literary equivalent of a Cosmo magazine, and other days I'm gonna want like the entire Times Square, or New York Times, not Times Square. So let me start with the books that I sort of have identified as sort of like easy, fun reading. My friend gave me this, I think for Christmas last year. Shrill, I think this will be an interesting one. We've got The Greatest Love Story Ever Told. This is about the guy from Parks and Rec. I just think it'd be kind of fun. And then Tina Fey's Bossypants. I love books by comedians when it comes to like easy summer reading. Next up, I have Tidelands, which I have no idea what it's about. All I know is it's by Philippa Gregory, and she's my all-time favorite historical fiction writer, so I'm sure it's good. I've got this book on the Borgia, which I think will be really interesting, and it'll just remind me of the trip to Italy I'm not taking. Actually, a couple of these books, this one and the book on Catherine de Medici, I literally purchased to help me like hype up for my trip to Italy, but it's being pushed off a year. Another story I just find fascinating is the story of the Romanovs. So I have The Race to Save the Romanovs, and basically the premise of the book, my understanding, is that a lot of people blame the British royal family for the Romanovs not being rescued from Russia, and you know, obviously their entire family died. It was awful. But anyways, a lot of people blame the British royal family because the king at the time was cousin to the Tsar of Russia, I believe it was. But basically the Romanovs, just like any royal family at the time, were connected with every royal family in Russia, in Europe. And so my understanding is that basically this book sort of goes through the process in each country and why they chose not to help their family, and why it was, I guess, politically expedient not to help. Anyways, I think this will just be fascinating. So next up we have The Tattooist of Auschwitz, which is a book about, obviously, the Holocaust. For those of you guys who know me in real life, you'll know that I am very passionate about anti-Semitism and Holocaust education. I did an incredibly meaningful trip a couple of years ago to Poland and Germany. I did the whole, it was a multi-faith trip. I'm Christian, but it's a multi-faith trip, and we did the entire trip with this incredible man named Pinhas, who was a Holocaust survivor. It was just an incredibly meaningful trip, and when I have the opportunity to further my education on that topic, I always appreciate it. Pinhas does have a memoir. It's called Memories in Focus, which I did also consider bringing, but I've already read it and I haven't read this one. On another cheery topic, we have The Great Shame, which is basically about Irish history. It's about the triumph of the Irish in the English-speaking world. And my grandpa immigrated from Ireland, so again, just always excited to just learn more about that. And then I have a book on Catherine de Medici, the Renaissance Queen of France. So we've got some really heavy topics, we've got some really light topics. So that is what I've got for reading. And then in terms of board games, we're going to bring Settlers of Catan, Uno, and probably Pandemic. I think that's what we're going to bring. We're going to bring some board games. Anyways, that is just some of the stuff I am bringing with me to the cottage this weekend. We're going for a whole week. Oh my gosh. So I am there right now. You guys know I love hanging out with you guys in the comments. So leave some comments down below, and when I get back from the trip, I'll be hanging out with you guys like I always do. Like, subscribe, comment, subscribe, like, comment, like. You know what to do. You know where it is. I don't need to. There's some videos over here to watch. They're, you know, if you're new, welcome. Check out my 4,000 subscriber giveaway. And anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Mwah.